We saw Mark Carney also duck and dodge the question of if he supported the carbon tax. So before you launch your campaign, we wanted to know, will you continue down the path of Justin Trudeau and quadruple the carbon tax?
So, Mr. Hallan, I'm not sure the best use of this committee's precious time is to indulge in political speculation and political horse racing. I'm sorry, Mr. Hallan, I didn't interrupt you with your very long comments, and so now I would ask you politely to do me the same courtesy.
Sure. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. So, JASRAJ HALLAN has CHRYSTIA FREELAND in the hot seat, and she is up to her old tricks. Dividing, distracting, not being straight with Canadians, saying that 8 out of 10 people are making more from the carbon tax. Do any Canadians believe this anymore? JASRAJ HALLAN does not. He demands CHRYSTIA FREELAND be straight with Canadians. I'm not sure if she's capable of this. Let's take a peek at these committee meetings, guys. They're very interesting. CHRYSTIA FREELAND, maybe she's on her way out. Let's take a peek.
And now to our first round of questions. We're starting with, each party will have up to 6 minutes. We're starting with MP Hallan, please, for the first 6 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Minister, do you think it was fair to increase the carbon tax 23% when 70% of Canadians told you not to, as 2 million Canadians visit a food bank in a single month? Was that fair?
Mr. Hallan, 8 out of 10 Canadians get more money back than they pay in with the price on pollution. We also know that the only way to have a credible, effective economic plan in 2024 is to also have a climate plan. That is what our customers, Canada's customers, are requiring. That is what foreign investors are requiring. And we're seeing the results. In 2023, Canada had more FDI per capita than any other G7 country. That's because we have a strong economic plan that includes a strong climate plan.
Minister, your carbon tax is actually a tax plan and not an environmental plan. And the PBO on multiple occasions came to this committee and proved a lot of the stuff you're saying is misinformation and false. For example, he said just a few weeks ago that a majority of families pay more into this carbon tax than what they get into these rebates that you're talking about. Last time you were here, for example, in your own words, an average Albertan family gets $1,800 in rebates, but I have the PBO report here in my hand that says an average Albertan family pays $2,900 into the carbon tax. Do you think it's fair that an average Albertan family has to pay $1,100 more into the tax? Is that fair to them?
Mr. Hallan, I think the people who are trafficking in misinformation when it comes to a price on pollution are, I'm sad to say, the Conservatives.
PBO wrong?
The average 8 out of 10 Canadian families, very much including Alberta families,
but he said a majority of families are worse off.
Than they pay in on a price on pollution. That is simply the reality. It has been verified by economists across the country, including the most esteemed economists in Alberta. The reality is this is a revenue-neutral plan which is giving money back to Alberta families, and I am delighted that we are now giving money back to small businesses across the country, including small businesses in Alberta. And the final thing that is just so important, and it's important for the province you and I love a lot, Alberta, is the only way for us as an open, trade-exposed economy to have an economic plan that actually works, to actually be able to attract foreign investment, to actually be able to sell what we produce, is to have a strong and credible climate plan. That's what our government has.
So, Minister, I think it's clear to see that by you ducking and dodging the facts that you absolutely are still peddling misinformation about the carbon tax. And someone who claims to love Alberta wouldn't take extra $1,100 in a carbon tax and what they get in rebates. So I just want to make that clear. Recently, as I move on, Mark Carney just testified yesterday at the Senate committee. Someone who will probably be your next leader, and as someone who's rumored to be also a leadership candidate in the next Liberal leadership race. We saw Mark Carney also duck and dodge the question of if he supported the carbon tax. So before you launch your campaign, we wanted to know, will you continue down the path of Justin Trudeau and quadruple the carbon tax?
So, Mr. Hallan, I'm not sure the best use of this committee's precious time is to indulge in political speculation
think
and
the
political
Canadians need
horse
to know
racing.
if you're
I'm
running
sorry,
for
Mr. Hallan, I didn't
leadership,
interrupt you with your very
quadruple the
long
tax.
comments, and so now I would ask you politely to do me the same courtesy. So let me just be clear, because you have waded pretty far into waters of political speculation. Our party has a leader, and our government has a prime minister. He has the full support of our cabinet and our
Fair
caucus.
enough, Minister, because I have a short amount of time.
Mr.
So
Hallan, please don't interrupt me.
On that note,
You used up your precious time speculating about party politics. You leave me
And
no
as a
choice
follow-up
but
to that
you
question,
give me no
Minister,
choice but to answer.
I just
and I'm
wanted to
quite
ask,
happy.
then do you
I'm sorry,
support
Mr. Hallan.
his
I didn't
quadrupling?
interrupt you.
Minister Hallan, if we could just try to find the right balance here so we can hear and,
Sure.
and we can get some answers.
I'll move on then. Because
I wasn't finished with
wanted
my
to know-
answer, Mr. Hallan.
That's fine. I'll take my time
Point of
because I
order.
only have a limited amount
Point
of
of order.
time.
Chair, I think it's customary for when members ask questions to give witnesses equal a weighted amount of time to answer, and I don't believe that the minister has had her time to answer.
So what I do ask is for respect here in the room, and we do have the minister. It is precious time. We have 1 hour. I'm sure you want to hear from the minister, and MP Allen, I'm sure you want to pose your questions. So let's find, like I said, the right balance to make this happen.
I'll move on to my next question because I only have a limited amount of time. Minister, under the 9 years of your government, rents have doubled, literally. They were half what they were before your government took over. Rent prices are outpacing income for the first time in 60 years. Your $89 billion photo op slush fund, supposedly for housing, after you announced that, has doubled rents. I want to know, how did you spend $89 billion to double rents?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Hallan. And I am actually glad to see all of us paying attention to housing. I think it is one of the most pressing issues for Canada and Canadians, and that is why with this budget and with action we have taken, our government has put forward the most ambitious plan to get more homes built faster in Canadian history. With all of the measures taken together, will mean that nearly 4 million new homes are built by 2031. That is what Canada needs. That is what we are doing. That's what we're investing in. And conservative austerity will not accomplish that. It's also you also offer me a nice opportunity to point out that when your current leader was responsible for housing, he managed to get only 6 homes built. That is a record we're happy to stand against any day of the week.
Thank you, Minister. And we're going to our next questioner, and that
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
So my fellow Canadians, what do you think? Is CHRYSTIA Freeland being straight with Canadians? I don't know. After watching that, it's pretty apparent that there's some very dishonest things going on with the Liberal NDP coalition government. They don't answer questions in committees. It's obnoxious, it's smug, it's arrogance. But I want Canadians to see it. My name's Aaron, this is Canadian Looney. We are learning all about Canadian federal politics, trying to show what we're learning to Canadians. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, and watch some videos about Canadian federal politics. The more you watch, the more you learn. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, get notified, all those fun things. I do love the comments. We'll catch you next video. We'll see if we can find CHRYSTIA Freeland telling the truth. That's going to be a challenge. Later, gang.